Did we miss the rapture on the 23rd and 24th of September? Or was the date just misinterpreted slightly? Or do we just not know when Jesus is going to come back? So yeah, I know that one of my last videos that I made was actually on this very subject of the prophecy, the so-called prophecy that the rapture was going to happen on September 23rd or 24th. And apparently one of the big proponents of this was a man in, I believe, South Africa. People referred to him as Brother Joshua. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name because I will butcher it. A lot of people were following his claim, and he apparently claimed that Jesus came to him years ago, back in, several years back, and told him that that on September 23rd or 24th, and that's a red flag right there if you ask me. I mean, if Jesus is going to come and tell you the date, he's not going to tell you the exact date. He's going to be like, I want to come back on September 23rd or 24th. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, yeah. So he made that prediction, claimed that Jesus came and talked to him, told him that, and that was going to be this year. Well, those dates have come and gone. And apparently what I've heard is he's now claiming that he misinterpreted it because he was looking at the wrong calendar. He was looking at our calendar. And if you look at the Hebrew calendar, then those dates actually mean like October 6th or October 7th or something along those lines. So that's when the rapture is going to happen. And he 100% or 1,000,000,000% guarantees that that's when it's going to happen. Well, I mean, he 1,000,000,000% guaranteed that it was going to happen on September 23rd or 24th. And I mean, if Jesus actually came down and told him he was coming back on September 23rd or 24th, Jesus is going to tell him that date based on the calendar that he understands. And Jesus isn't going to come and tell him that anyway, because it is abundantly clear in Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. I mean, there is absolutely no way that Jesus is going to come to anybody and tell them, this is the date I'm coming. Even though in the Bible he said nobody knows that day, it is ludicrous that anyone attempts to figure out what that day is, because I guarantee we can try as hard as we want to look at different things in the Bible and how they line up in different codes and different prophecies and all kinds of stuff. We're not going to know. We're not going to be able to figure that out. It is abundantly clear that we are not going to know that day or hour. Jesus is going to come back at a time when we least expect it. So I don't understand why this has to be said so often and why so many believers fall for this so often. Now, I did a quick Google search and there were at least 9, if not more, prophecies concerning the return of Jesus on a certain date since I've been alive, and probably a lot more. These were just some of the main ones. So at this point, I have rapture fatigue as far as people claiming that it's going to happen. I mean, I know that nobody is going to be able to predict the date, no matter how much evidence they bring to the table to say, yeah, it's going to happen on this date. It's just not. And the fact that, and as I stated, the fact that so many Christians fall for this so often And I should point out that this particular time, it seemed even more heartbreaking than usual. Maybe it's because of social media and the fact that so many people were actually putting out videos and, claiming that, hey, they had visions as well that backed this up. And they were so absolutely 100% convinced that the 23rd and 24th was going to be the day. It's heartbreaking to see some of these videos where people were utterly disappointed in the fact that it didn't happen. Learn your lesson and do not believe anyone who makes this claim that Jesus told them it was going to happen on this particular day. Do not, if you have visions, if you're having dreams that it's going to happen on a certain date and it's backing up something that some other false prophet had made a claim to, there is a very, very high probability that you had that dream or vision based on what you wanted. You were so excited about this that this prophet is saying that it's going to happen on this date. It should be clear that that sort of thing can actually trigger dreams. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've been really excited about something and I've dreamt about it, but that doesn't mean that that the dream was an actual vision from God. I mean, I gotta say it over and over again. But of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. And Jesus said that he will come at a time when we least expect it. This just needs to be drilled into every Christian. And if you're watching this video, if you found this video because you were one of those people that were fooled by this guy from South Africa, this Brother Joshua guy, do not be fooled again. Like I said, it sounds like he's doubling down and just, pushing the date out a little bit further. If you believe this, God help you, really. We should not be focusing on any specific date. We should know that Jesus is going to come again, and it's going to be at a time when we don't expect it. At this point in time, it almost feels like it's hard to not expect it, because it seems like you got all kinds of people coming out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, it's going to happen on this day. It's going to happen on that day." It almost seems like God's going to have to find a day that nobody's saying it's going to happen on. But all joking aside, it's just ridiculous, and there's a lot of people putting out videos on this very subject as well. I'm just one of probably thousands. And I hope that we're able to drive it home for those of you that have fallen for these false prophets. Now, this Brother Joshua guy, he is absolutely 100% a false prophet. And I believe that he's completely deluded himself. And he... I don't really know what his end goal is at this point, because more than likely October is going to come and go, and the Lord is still going to tarry. And I don't necessarily want to say that it's not going to happen, but I think there's probably a good chance that it won't. And the reason why I say that is because, is obvious, because we don't know. However, I think it's a lot easier for people of the pre-tribulation rapture mindset to fall for these traps, fall for these false teachers. And I have to say that my entire life, my entire upbringing as a Christian, I was always taught in the pre-tribulation rapture that the Lord would come before the tribulation times, that the Lord would come and rescue us from the suffering. However, the more that I really study this, and I have to say, I never really dug into this that much. It was just kind of something that I always hoped for. But I'm the kind of guy who hopes for the best but prepares for the worst. So I was always of the mindset that I hope the tribulation, or I hope the Lord returns before the tribulation, but I want to be fully prepared in the event that he waits until after the tribulation or during the tribulation. Because having that mindset, you can be hopeful, but if we are going to have to endure suffering, we will be prepared for it. If we were 100% convinced that the Lord was going to save us from the suffering of the tribulation, or spare us from that, there's a better chance that we could have issues with our faith if he doesn't. And I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there. Let me circle back to where I started. So, as I was saying, I was raised to be more of a pre-tribber. And, the more I study and really look at the different arguments, the more I feel like that is probably the weakest of the arguments. And this video is not meant to dive into that because, like I said, I haven't done a ton of studying on the subject and don't really fully understand all the three main viewpoints and how where they butt heads and such. That's going to be a video maybe for another time. But the point of this video is, again, we should never, ever be focusing on a specific date. And anyone who tells you otherwise, that God revealed a date to them, or they were able to calculate it based on this and that in the Bible, they are wrong. The Bible is clear. We are not going to know. So we might as well just be prepared and in eager anticipation for the Lord's return. And understand that we just are not going to know. And just be ready. Just be ready and always look up. I mean, the signs of our day and age right now, everything that's going on in this world, the rise and technology, the moral decay, the extremely rapid moral decay, the wars, rumors of wars, the storms, the pestilences that are going on across the world that are all kind of compounding. They're all happening all at the same time. It surely feels like we are living in the time, and it really feels like it's got to be very, 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 very close. But there's just no way we can put a date on it. Absolutely no way. So remember that and keep looking up and anticipate the Lord's return. And remember, he's going to come at a time that we do not expect. So until next time, guys, God bless.